we should. I think we wrote the book on having fun.
Is what this once proud and profitable company sorely needs. What was once a captivating, trend-setting program has now deteriorated into a cliched, let's be honest, boring snooze fest that is in dire need of a knight in shining armor. Television ratings, downward spiral. Pay-per-view buy rates plummeting. Is what this once mainstream acceptance non-existent. And reactions of the live crowds, complete and utter silence. You're silent because you're embarrassed to be here. Honestly, I'm embarrassed for you. And the reason why you're embarrassed is because of the steady stream of uninteresting, untalented, mediocre sports entertainers who you're forced to cheer for and care for. No wonder you're not cheering. You can care less about every single idiot in that dressing room.
Now, here's Joe Cronin. Joe Cronin.
That's it. Hey, whoa, through the table.
My hole!
That's it.
My hole!
That's it.
My hole! My hole!
Ow, my hole. What a beautiful representation of what this show really was tonight. Ow, my hole. Thanks, Nia Jax. It's exactly what I was thinking while I was watching this show tonight. I was thinking about, ow, my hole. My whole existence, my asshole should be ripped open. I should be beaten to death and bludgeoned with a steel oar. Or a steel dildo, perhaps, or something horrifically long, hard, and could perform blunt trauma on my brain.
Damn,
so
you're turning
that I
me
wake
on.
up. What?
You're turning me on. You want it black, long, hard, blunt trauma? Speaking my kind of, my kind of night.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this was not a good night. If I keep dipping out, I apologize. With the snow coming, my body reacts poorly, so I keep throwing up. But this night,
with the snow,
it's making everybody sick.
Wait, the snow coming is making you throw up?
Yeah, anytime there's changes in barometric pressure, my head hurts worse.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I get that because when it gets cold and hot, I can feel like my whole head is being filled.
I'm the ultimate weatherman. I know when something's coming. I'll tell you. If you want 8 inches from me, though, I'm gonna have to give it to you 4 times. So, Raw was not what they could have really delivered tonight. They have potential for stories. What are they doing? Here's a quick little thing, and you think it out as you're going. But Sheamus, why did he turn already? It's so silly and a waste. They could have had an entire build of him still being his friend. They get through Elimination Chamber. Sheamus is number 2, and he's the second one left, obviously with Drew, and Drew beats him after they go through this hellacious fight at the Elimination Chamber. And what happens from there? That's what makes Sheamus snap. That's what makes him give up on this 20-plus year friendship, because he couldn't take getting beat and not being the champion, and that feels disrespected, and all this. Why did he turn on Drew? It makes no sense at all. Last week he decided to kick him for a title shot when Drew said, "I'll give you a title shot anyways." So what was the point of him turning heel? It makes no sense. And now everybody's back inside the Elimination Chamber for a chance at the title. So they give Randy a shot tonight. It ends in DQ because everything in WWE is a non-finish nowadays. Everything
was nothing.
or a non-finish, or because that's the only way they know how to keep a story going. No one can win or lose. Everybody has to be at that same level field,
except Riddle.
But he's not for their main stories. Their main women's story, they do the same thing. The main men's story, they do the same thing, because that's the only way they can keep a feud going. All the undercards and mid cards, they'll let them lose. They'll let their tag team champions and women's champs and all this stuff lose to the cows come home. As we saw with Nia, the women's tag team champion, getting put through a table tonight and hurting her asshole. So, the best call that I think Nia's given in her career. Right there. That is classic. That is meme worthy. And what kind of sell job was that? Because it's epic, but it's horrible at the same time. What possesses you to scream my hole?
I don't know, man. I think Nia Jax is a fat cunt.
How is that appropriate selling? It's funny. I'm not saying it's not. It's fucking hilarious, especially coming from,
I hate these people.
Cow.
I'm going to be honest. You call her a battle cow, I'm going to call her a cunt. Let me tell you this.
Cunt's a good word. Cunt's an excellent word, especially after your earlier report
I
today.
hate these people. I hate them. I don't care. I usually don't say things like this. I hate this company right now. I hate this roster of people. I hate the announcers, obviously. This is miserable to watch. I hate that I do this. I hope Byron Saxon is found in the bathroom with a Boy Scout. I hope Tom Phillips has more leaks where he wants to face fuck a woman, and then she says that he gets Me Too'd by her. I hope that, who's the other person? Samoa Joe. I hope Samoa Joe, I hope his contract comes up and he goes to work in AEW and he paralyzes another person. I think Vince McMahon should be on a private plane with Hulk Hogan and it should crash into a mountain. I think Ric Flair's face should go from white to red to full-blown purple. And
we saw that tonight.
The tape of him saying the N-word at people from back in the day over and over again should leak out. And then Snoop Dogg should get angry at him on a Twitter video and say, Rick, really? What the hell? And then Rick is like, listen, brother, it was a long time ago and we talked differently back then. And then Snoop Dogg says, well, will you talk racist? And then Ric Flair says, you know what, motherfucker? And then he calls him an N-word on Twitter. Then Ric Flair gets his Twitter banned, and then he gets taken out of the Hall of Fame. And then that sends his whole life and career into a spiraling fucking just mess, to the point where they fire Charlotte Flair because of it, and they get rid of everything Ric Flair. There's no more 16 championships because of the racism, and Ric Flair dies somewhere by himself on an island in front of hookers or something. And I hope that, The Miz, I hope his reality show is all he does in the future. He leaves WWE to just do reality TV and host a show. And I hope on Slip and Slide 5000, the new show with The Miz on USA Network, I hope somebody falls off the slip and slide and hits Maurice and it breaks her leg. And then she has an internal bleed, and that sends her to the hospital for 2 months, where Miz contracts COVID and his testicles don't work anymore and they can't have any more babies. And then he's takes so much time off TV, they decide to release him. Nobody else will hire him, and he's done with WWE. So now he just basically works the goddamn autograph circuits and Comic-Cons and things like that. And that's the rest of the Miz's life, is just Comic-Cons and signing autographs and things like that. I hope Nikki Bella loses her left breast. I hope that Daniel Bryan's hair falls out so he's bald. And I hope Brie Bella changes her whole lifestyle and becomes a meat eater, specifically deer and venison. And I hope she eats deer and that drives him mad and they get into a physical altercation. She wins custody of the kid. He goes on to live in the mountains by himself, where his cabin is burnt down by Antifa 5 years later because they've taken over half of Washington, and he doesn't see his kid ever again. And Birdie has to live fatherless for the rest of their life with birds. Actually is raised by birds when Brie Bella runs away from the family. And I hope Vince McMahon's stock crashes, but he forgets to take it out in time because his stockbroker hates him, because his stockbroker is mad that Vince is not a Jewish person, that Vince is Christian and also a Mick. and he hates Irish people. So Vince loses 70% of his capital. And Stephanie McMahon, it comes out, was cheating on Triple H this whole time with a younger talent. And Stephanie shows no remorse at all, and it's a big payback for what happened with China. And that drives Triple H to create his own wrestling company in somewhere in Maine, where he starts his own wrestling promotion. He gets a small, low-budget side cable deal with some other company where he produces. So he's
not the son of an NFL team owner. Gotcha.
No, he'll be a very small show where Triple H is just happy to sell and produce stuff. He's so much more knowledgeable than anybody there, so he's
sell out. It'll be 30 people, by the water cooler. Yeah,
and he just works out at the gym there. He lives there, in fact. Now he just lives there. He visits his kids. Stephanie almost wins everything. Stephanie gets pregnant. She gets pregnant at the age of 42 by a 28-year-old, and her tits blow up so big that they explode in her face, and she dies of breast bleeding. Linda McMahon,
cool man, has to take care of the baby.
Linda McMahon outlives all the McMahons somehow. They all end up dying at some point. Shane goes missing in a plane accident over Costa Rica, where actually, funny enough, Lars Sullivan was hiding out with babies. For some reason, he's just surrounded by only black babies, and it makes no sense. And he's raising the babies with milk bottles. He saved them from South Africa. And he's trying to make amends for his crimes and racism, and so he's just growing, almost nurturing these children to try to prove to the world that he's a good person and not a racist person. And he didn't mean the things he said. He raises 8 of these babies in a nursery. However, he does make one exception because a Filipino baby ends up in the mix that he bought on the black market. But he decides to keep the Filipino baby. He's like, I'm going to keep the Filipino baby, even though it's, he wants to keep everything symmetrical and the same race, but, he'll take the Filipino baby in too. So he's got all these babies and all these things. So then he goes and sees a witch doctor, and the witch doctor says to him, listen, tell me the person you hate. We'll take care of them. He says Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, for whatever reason, was mean to me in the locker room. I don't know what it was, but he was mean to me. The voodoo doctor starts putting weird spells on the Bobby Lashley doll, and Bobby Lashley's penis goes up and inside of him, inverted-wise. He gets a testicle contortion, and as it right around the corner, it turns purple. They have emergency surgery on Bobby Lashley's testicle to where now he only has one, and his wife gets in a fight with him about no sex for 7 months. They split up. Their kids, their whole life's ruined. Bobby Lashley's life's ruined. He stops doing steroids. He fucking...
Look how many homes are destroyed so far.
His body starts upping the estrogen inside of his body where he grows actual tits, and his balls go inside of his anus, and he has no balls anymore. And that's when he gets the cancer of the pelvic cancer, and he dies of urethra poisoning. And this just a big cascade that ruins everything throughout everything, all because this battle cow had to go and scream about her fucking stupid asshole who likes to injure people and thinks it's funny. So you got Lana, the worst wrestler in the company, Lana, but at least she doesn't hurt anybody, versus the other worst wrestler in the company, but she hurts people every second because she's a fat lard who doesn't care about herself. So why would she care about you? Any second she could drop dead from coronary fucking artery disease. You think she gives a fuck about slamming you the right way on the mat? She doesn't give a fuck if she shoves poison down her fucking throat. You fucking idiot. So it's like, why don't you wake the fuck up and realize what's going on here in the WWE, which will be sued by several people in the future for some kind of concussion shit that the country and the world will push. I hope Monday Night Raw I hope somebody fucking gets hurt on Monday Night Raw and Nia Jax laughs about it and then she gets fired on Twitter. That's what I hope happens. I hope dildos rain from the sky. And because when you're forced to be in a situation where cock is coming at you and you just can't deny it. You can hide that you're not into that all you want. Go ahead and do it. I understand. But I love it when you are forced to be exposed, all right? And the one way you can be forced to be exposed is by cocks raining from the fucking sky. And when that happens, it's going to be a beautiful day in the neighborhood because Lars Sullivan is going to have no choice. Seth Rollins is going to have no choice. Tyler Black is going to have no choice when dicks start pouring from the sky and he does this. Ah! hoping the little bit of semen will drop in his mouth or one of the big dildos will just thrust way down and slow and hard. I'm done now. I'm done now. And listen.
Are you sure, though?
Shit bum.
No.
Oh, my hole.
Oh, there's
my
Shell.
hole.
My hole. Shell, what's up? My hole. It's like the Ninja Turtles video game when they go, oh, my toes. Like they go, oh, my hole.
That's it.
My hole!
That piercing scream, my God.
It's
My hole.
It's weird
And before,
because
I know Matt said it quickly as well that I think Alexa not being there had something to do with her stalker. I wish.
wait a minute, Alexa wasn't there because somebody fucking tweeted me that she was the best thing on the show. So how the fuck could that be?
At least I didn't see that.
Where the fuck is this tweet from this piece of shit fuckhead who fucking tweeted me this? You fucking cunt, Enrico. Fucking die, Enrico. You fucking idiot.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, but I don't remember seeing her at all because, and a lot of people, obviously she's had that stupid goddamn, person harassing her on Twitter. Today he said, I'm going to your house in Orlando, and I wish the wrestling sites wouldn't pay attention because then more people end up copycatting these things and attempting to get attention and clout as well.
Oh, here he is.
So it just begets itself, but she was already scheduled not to be there tonight because they had no plans from what I heard. Again, take it with a grain of salt, but I was told and read that she had no plans to be there tonight because the plan with Randy Orton was to have the match with Drew. And then after Elimination Chamber is when they'll pick back up with the Fiend storyline.
Evans and Flair, the only thing good about Raw so far tonight. That's what I wrote here on this tweet. Basically, I thought Evans and Flair was the only thing, and then the ending happened, and that ruined it. But whatever. At this point, it was the middle of the match, and I was like, "Oh, this is the only good thing I've seen tonight."
Yeah, well, because WWE always has to have that non-finish. But here's the thing:
look at this fucking guy, Jake. Look at this guy. No, it ain't. It's terrible. Alexa Bliss is the only good thing about Raw. Well, she's not on it.
In general, I don't think he meant tonight's show, but
well, fuck him. I hope everybody attacks him
because Alexa usually is entertaining. I mean, just tonight was. Missing a lot of story. And here's the thing. We left off last week with Alexa Bliss causing Edge to
shut the fuck up, Alexa!
Randy Orton. Alexa was oozing from her mouth in this huge distraction so that Randy lost the match against Edge. Then we had the whole week continue on. Edge was on multiple shows. NXT, he was on SmackDown. We get back to tonight. Now there's no Alexa because they want Orton to try and go for the title. But they announced the title match is happening first on Instagram. It doesn't even happen on the show. Then they start off the show. They don't mention that the title match is happening yet, but they give you the whole who's going to be in the Elimination Chamber. So why set up the Elimination Chamber when you haven't gotten through the night yet to figure out who's going to be champion? But why is Orton not following up on what happened last week with Alexa Bliss costing him the match with Edge?
I think they pulled.
It doesn't make sense.
I think
there's
they pulled
too many plot holes.
They pulled a 180, is what it is. None of this was planned.
They tried to retcon things in front of us and tried to just skirt everything else under the rug. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can't just pull people when you need to. And,
you know why?
Say,
everybody complained about it. Everybody complained about Edge and Roman and all this stuff, and everybody knows what's going to happen. So. They went, okay.
They're trying to pull a little fast one and let you get to Elimination Chamber. Mm-hmm. I get that, but you at least have Orton say something about Alexa Bliss and don't announce the participants of the Chamber match until you know who the champion is going to be. Finish the night or have that match open the show.
No, she's going to show up in the Elimination Chamber now again. It's just
I'm sure they'll have the Fiend return in Elimination Chamber or shortly thereafter to set up the match with Orton and for Mania. It seems like that's where they're going with it, which to me is tedious. We've seen them enough. I would like to have seen something different, but hopefully it'll be good. I don't know. Granted, the thing is here, they went ahead and still give us this constant, non-finish and DQ stuff to keep stories going. They did it with Charlotte. They did it at the end. Why have Sheamus turn heel? None of that makes sense. You presented them as best friends forever. You had them feud with Keith Lee and ruin that friendship because Sheamus said he wouldn't turn on Drew, and then suddenly out of nowhere he just turns on Drew. Now we got to deal with Bad Bunny for weeks on end because he's not on tour. I know it's a good get for WWE. Thankfully, it's not insulting. It's not a terrible segment by any means. I don't care for The Miz and Morrison with this. It sucks Angel Garza's getting dragged down with it. But
fuck him. He sucks anyway. Who cares?
I mean, Damian Priest, I guess, gets the rub off of this. But because of this, now they're trying to get Cardi B. Bow Wow is arguing with Retribution on Twitter. It's going to become, instead of rock and wrestling, it's going to be rap and wrestling. But they're trying to get everybody that they can. And it just reeks of desperation.
I would like to see Lil Bow Wow or whatever, anal cavity searched by Lacey Evans while she's in character while the Beach Boys are playing in the background. Can we please see Lil Bow Wow or whatever sodomized?
Yeah, there we go. And Bad Bunny can hold the camera. And see, it's not whether I like Bad Bunny's music or not. It has nothing to do with that. At least he's a legitimate wrestling fan and actually cares about wrestling. And
yeah, he wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad tonight.
Yeah, he didn't look bad at the Rumble. It's just you have enough talent already, and I get what they're doing, but the rapid wrestling thing. All right, if it'll get your eyes on the product, it feels so desperate.
Well, I mean, they are desperate because the ratings are.
I know they are. It's just it can be desperate without reeking of desperation.
If you notice, Jake, this is something I haven't talked about in a while, but it's something we've all noticed when we were kids.
What's that?
WrestleMania 5. Do you remember all the celebrities? Not really, because there weren't that many. Do you remember WrestleMania 6, all the celebrities? Not that many. Do you remember WrestleMania 8? There were a few celebrities at WrestleMania 8.
There was a couple, but yeah, it didn't. And then
you remember
every
WrestleMania
time
11
things start to fade.
Yep.
They bring in, all right, well, let's get the match with the fridge. All right.
What's the worst WrestleMania? What's the worst WrestleMania of all time?
11's usually.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad you said that because that's
in Hartford.
That's the right answer. It's probably 11. Now let's think about that.
I would say 9's pretty bad.
But think about, well, yes, I agree. Think about 11 though. Now 9 was supposed to be somewhere else, and last minute they changed everything, and I think that fucked them.
32, I think it was.
But think about
one of them, the one with Triple H main event.
Think about 11. 11 is the worst WrestleMania in history. They're going into WrestleMania 11. They have a fucking football player as the main event against Bam Bam Bigelow. Instead of Shawn Michaels and Diesel.
You got LT, the fridge coming in.
So we got LT is the fucking main event. We got Salt and Peppa singing LT to the ring. You got Jonathan Taylor Thomas when Home Improvement
forgot about
was on top.
JTT being there too. Yeah, that was the reeks of desperation time because that was smack dab 1995.
We got Burt Reynolds
when they were worried about the water coolers. We're gonna lose the water coolers.
Yeah, Nicholas Totoro, Rhonda Shear. I mean, dude, the list of celebrities at WrestleMania 11, especially the big LT NFL thing, dude, it's called a big, the show was a gimmick because the talent was so weak. It was like, man, nobody wants to see Big Daddy Cool versus Shawn Michaels. Let's have LT, Lawrence Taylor, come in and wrestle. I mean, dude, you couldn't believe it was Bam Bam. You went from, Hogan the year before and Bret Hart and Yokozuna, and before that Hogan and Warrior and Hogan and Sid and all the other things and Macho Mans and all the things, whatever the fuck. And WrestleMania 11 is LT, the football player, versus Bam Bam Bigelow.
That's your huge thing to go off of. And on top of
Jenny McCarthy too, yeah.
Jenny McCarthy, yep. Pam Anderson. There was only a 1.3 buy rate. So they went from a 1.68 to a 1.3, but it's higher than the next year's, which went down to a 1.2.
Which is crazy because WrestleMania 12 was way better.
Yeah, it was the 17th best WrestleMania of the first 23. So it was ranked 17 out of 23.
What is 12? 12?
No, for 11.
Oh.
At that point in time. So it's it's just they said that they tried to do the best they could to make Lawrence Taylor look like a pro in the ring. But they really said Diesel said it looked like a sham of a match. And how can they be wrong?
It didn't look the best, but it was surprising that it was as good as it was, I think, to be honest. But honestly, that match shouldn't have been last. Then
Bret Hart and Bob Backlund wasn't good either.
Oh God, that's dude. Bret Hart
Sadly.
never has bad matches. And that match was fucking horrible.
Because they did this whole submission thing and the
pausing and
you could have just done the I Quit, but
Well,
Roddy
plus,
Piper being the ref, I liked,
but also Bob Backlund was so weird that it that was weird too. He was like, ah!
It was that creepy, uncomfortable, weird. Yeah,
it was just weird, dude. It was strange. I remember when it was around that time I found out that he was the world champion for years, and I said, this guy was the WWF world champion. He's like a fucking weird gnome.
Exactly. I never understood it.
I never got it either. I didn't. He was a different guy though, Jake. He was like, the only way to compare it is the old Bob Backlund that was the world champion was kind of like Daniel Bryan or something.
Yes, yeah, American Dragon style, very serious and a technical wrestler.
But then they turned him into like, and he always looked goofy though. He looked like a goofy little fuck.
They really dialed up the comedy and
yeah, they dialed up some kind of weird like cartooniness out of him that was weird. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, you even noticed it when he was still a good guy. When he came back at WrestleMania 9 to face Razor Ramon, he got in there and he just looked like a dweeb. And you were like, this guy is not shit. But Vince loved Bob because he was always the world champion and his dad loved him. So like it's just weird. That was weird.
Bomb!
It was Drew Bar.
You become a shit bomb.
Give me that shit bum.
0 out of 10. This made me wanna die.
I agree, Drew Bar. This show literally made me angry. I'm actually upset right now. I'm angry. Come at me. I swear, if someone comes at me on Twitter or whatever the fuck, I'll fuck you. Fuck you, dude. I'm willing right now with the pandemic and everything going on in my life. Fuck with me. I'll fucking find you. Let's go. Don't fucking
you made a great
bring it to me on fucking Twitter. I'll fuck you up.
You really made a great point, though. Every time that they do this, every time ratings go down, they bring in what they can.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's why it's a rap and wrestling
The very beginning of Raw pissed me off so much. Why in the world would they just straight up announce the participants for the Elimination Chamber without having any sort of qualifying matches to earn their spot? Jeff Hardy has no reason to be in Chamber.
Yeah, I don't understand this. Didn't Jeff Hardy fucking lose tonight? And doesn't he lose every week?
Yeah, he's been on a severe losing streak, putting people over, but
why does he get to be in the Chamber?
I don't know. And from there, that's actually a great point to start because that's the beginning of the night. We get Adam Pearce out there, and he introduces Shane out of nowhere. I mean, really random. Shane comes out, and he's the one that gives us who's going to be in the chamber. They said that, but it's Pearce's idea, and Shane gives him credit. Then why bring Shane out? What was the point of Shane McMahon being there? He didn't do anything. He just made the announcement and left. Adam could have done that. It was literally pointless. And it got people to get excited over nothing.
That's what it was, just to get people.
They tried to, basically insinuate, Shane's coming, so are you going to get another Raw Underground? Are you going to get something new and exciting and different? Or it was just really disappointing. It's so lackluster to see Shane come out, because every other time he's come back after a lengthy hiatus or time away, he's done something at least different. It's whether it's a face or heel turn or, leading a show or, becoming an active wrestler again and having feuds. He's done something different each time. This didn't happen. He just came out, said his piece and left, and it was really silly. So they want all former champions. Okay, Orton, Hardy, Styles, The Miz, and Sheamus. Again, should have been face Sheamus going in there helping Drew. That would have been so much of a better, compelling story. It's not like, because they're not doing my idea, I don't agree with it. It just doesn't make sense for Sheamus to now turn on his best friend.
But didn't they already shit on each other a couple weeks ago?
They beat the hell out of each other, and they're like, we're bros, let's go grab a drink. So why? That's why the relationship, they could fight and work it out. We've seen them work it out twice now, when they have a disagreement. And then on top of it, I want the title. Well, our friendship means a lot, so I'll give you a title shot. Oh, I hate you. What? He gave you a title shot. He said, I'll let you have the shot at the belt. Now, if Sheamus lost after, trying to get the belt, and especially if he got squashed or something, like really unexpected happened, my God, they could really make a reason for him to turn. But I can't fathom any reason. It's just I'm not able to foresee as to why he gave up on their lengthy friendship. He made sure to bring him the kilt and the sword to reinvigorate Drew and help him get his title back and face Randy after the Hell in a Cell loss, and his best friend butt pumping him along the way and humping, as they traveled from their homeland all the way here together. It's been them two above all else, apparently, even though we never saw any evidence of this. So why are they fighting? It just doesn't add up. Like you said, throwing Hardy in there, there's other people that we would prefer to see. Lashley would be a good one at this point in time. That's why you need to get the U.S. title off of him. Orton, we've seen Orton go for this title so many times. It's boring. It's tedious. AJ Styles feels like a red herring. Someone you put there that, if they need to, they could pull the trigger on, but they're not going to. And then The Miz, who is just pointless and useless.
Remember, AJ doesn't want to be a champion. Remember
yes,
that.
he doesn't want the title. He said this openly. He does not want
He's
to be
too busy
champion.
being a racist. Remember? CM Punk said so. He's too busy. AJ Styles too busy being a racist.
Yeah, exactly, TSS. That's what I'm saying. He said, wait till they save the turn for after he gets pinned by Drew. I mean, it's not even a great idea, but if it came down to them two, they have a great match. He gets beat, and now he loses his mind because he can't handle that his best friend beat him clean. And there's so many ways to build to something, but they just pulled the trigger on it, and it makes no sense. Same with Hardy being involved. He's lost to Lashley so many times. He lost to Jackson Riker.
Everybody.
He lost to Elias. He lost to somebody else recently too.
He lost to my hole.
AJ Styles tonight. He lost to your hole. So why have him in there? I know somebody's got to be there to eat the pin, but it just doesn't fit for the story.
How about AJ hey, Jake, why don't you go ahead and eat my hole? Go ahead and eat that.
Not Nia's hole. So AJ comes out, runs his mouth, whatever, says that he's going to go ahead and do something impressive, I guess. I don't care. I just kind of tuned him out because it was annoying. Him and Almost, they're going to win, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then we see Styles pretty handily beat Jeff Hardy for most of the time. And they even had to interrupt to show that Damian Priest and Bad Bunny will be up later. But Styles made Jeff Hardy submit. So not only did he lose, but he had to say I quit and tap out as well to the calf crusher. So, okay, let's see Hardy go into this match with a little momentum. No? All right. I understand they have to build up somebody here, but I wouldn't have put these two in a match against each other. I would have had them face people who aren't in the chamber. Then you give everybody in the chamber a win, so everybody seems like they could be a credible champion. You build. Yeah. It's not that hard.
Yeah, and he could have said something too, like, oh, I'm starting my comeback tonight. I've had a bad streak, and now I'm ready to go or something. And it's like, whatever. We know he's in the chamber because he can do all this aerial shit. That's why he's in the fucking chamber. That's why they put Kofi in the chamber the last time, and then the fans started cheering for him. Yeah.
For the other flippy shit guy, Ali.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. You got to have a guy who can run around, like whatever, which I get, which is fine, but build the guy a little bit.
Yeah, give us some reason to feel
maybe they're afraid.
At all.
They're like, oh, no, don't build him at all, because last time, Kofi, and they took over WrestleMania.
Now Kofi's back. He can wrestle. And comes.
I hate them.
No
I hate them. I'm sorry, I hate them. I hate the New Day.
The New Day is a waste at this point. They're done for. God. They are nothing. Kofi and Xavier feel like horrific losers. I mean, that's your former WrestleMania winning world champion. He beat Daniel Bryan and went on this 7 or 8 month tear to take out everybody to eventually lose to Lesnar in 6 seconds. But still. Come on, this is how they treat Kofi. Xavier Woods, these guys just held the tag team titles, and we get nothing from this. It just feels like they are long forgotten about. Retribution is even more wasted. They need to just break up New Day and Retribution at this point. New Day shouldn't have continued with them not together, as a 3-piece. That was silly. And Retribution has been ruined since moment
I thought
one,
Retribution was actually looking good tonight, too, with everything going on, and then they just lose, and it was like...
And then they lose. Man. They were looking decent, but then they lose, so I can't even get into them. They're another one that could be rehabbed still. And that's the thing. Mustafa Ali still puts so much effort into this. He tries so hard on social media to push all these amazing narratives. They are really good story points, and WWE Creative just doesn't use them.
Who'd be better? Who'd be
What's
better
that?
with Retribution would be Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins, he'd actually be funny if they were losing like this, and he was like, damn it, no, you idiot. Oh, my God. Like Seth Rollins losing and losing and losing with Retribution would be funny, but the problem is Mustafa Ali is actually pretty believable, and like he's just losing credibility. So like what I'm saying is the matchup doesn't work for me. For some reason, Seth Rollins in that role is good because every time he loses, it's funny because he's like a weird fuck flipping out and angry that they can't get anything done, and they suck. They do suck. But Mustafa Ali is like, seems he's playing the role very serious, and they're losing almost like not only embarrassingly, but also almost like it's almost like someone's fucking with them, like in real life, like you're gonna
easy. It's set up.
Like this is a big rib that you guys are retards or something like that. And it's like, but yet Ali is so playing the role so straight and serious that he's really this leader. So it's like
it doesn't feel like he's reacting to the reality of the situation of them losing. He's acting like they're this elite, supreme.
Yeah, but it's not
destruction leaving.
And it's
group.
It's not funny at all. But if Seth was the leader, it'd be funny because Seth would be like,
"That's a great idea." Have Seth come out and say, "You suck. You've ruined your group. You've led them astray, and they've lost under your leadership." And have Seth poison their minds and take over them, and that would have been great. That's a story from Mania itself. Can you imagine the match we'd get between Seth and Mustafa? I guarantee that would be a barn burner.
Hopefully, if Seth could take over the group, because there's just this personality doesn't match up.
Seth beats Mustafa Ali, he gets the group, and that'd be a hell of a story for him to have for the next few months, and it would make Retribution go to from Raw to SmackDown. They'd have new people to work with. That would be their inter-brand promotional BS thing for Mania. There's a big thing they could do for that.
The other thing too is then you can eventually get the masks off everybody, and then Ali now has Retribution, but Retribution's only Mustafa Ali and 2 other people, but there's no masks, and they're dead serious. And then make Seth Rollins' group, the Messiah, whatever the fuck he has. And,
if he takes them under his leadership, he should do that. Remove the masks, remove their silly names, like a straight edge society when they shave their heads. They don't have to shave their heads, what I'm saying. Cleanse them of their previous monikers. And, even if he doesn't, you don't need to give them new nicknames, but go ahead and reintroduce them as their former selves. And, this is their baptism. Could be good.
It's not like most holes.
My hole! My hole! My hole!
That's it.
Holes. It's really big and dripping. It's creaming and it's shitting. It's not like most holes. It's not like most holes. It's dripping shit and fucking squirting. My shit is bleeding. It's not like most holes. It smells like someone is dying and my fucking ass is crying. It's not like most holes. It's dripping out of my spandex and it is brown and it's waxy. It's not like most holes. I mean, I wish I didn't lose my voice earlier today, or I would have nailed that. But
my hole.
That's it.
No.
I'm sorry.
So now we have a Raw Women's Titles match announced. Asuka versus Lacey Evans. We have Bobby Lashley versus Keith Lee versus Matt Riddle. They didn't announce that on the show either, did they? I think that was after.
It happened during the show. I think they were like, "Yo, I'm coming up against you."
Between the last few commercial
breaks. And Keith Lee,
so.
and you got Matt Riddle, who's a retard. So let's just real quickly. Matt Riddle's a retard. Now, I will say the Matt Riddle entrance was amazing. The Matt Riddle, he always does a great job, but when he did the fucking flip, and then he flips his own cap off and shit, kind of looked pretty fucking awesome. But he's retarded, so that...
Oh, yeah, it always looks cool when he kicks off his,
Yeah, look cool, but he's retarded.
Pyro and shit, yeah.
And then Dum Keith Lee, just is a block of boring. He's sitting there like, well, when we go out there...
He just doesn't have any personality right now. He's just overly boring, and that's the huge problem there. Oh, and Gazmania sent us on Twitter. He wanted us to know before, I believe he said, Darren Young jokingly teased that the Nexus would return for WrestleMania 37 to fight Retribution, and people were going nuts with it. Apparently that's not the case, though. He was supposedly saying it like he was leaking a story, but really what's going on is they're coming back for some type of autograph signing thing, not to return for in-ring action. At least that's what I read up until this point, so it doesn't seem like we're going to see the Nexus return. Maybe it wouldn't have been a terrible idea.
Good, because they suck. Fuck the Nexus.
Wade Barrett in
Fuck
NXT, so...
Fuck the Nexus. Fuck Wade Barrett.
We don't want Skip Sheffield, a.k.a. Ryback, to return? Come
Absolutely
on, he needs the paycheck,
Fuck
Joe.
I hated Netflix. I mean, Nexus. I hated the Nexus thing.
Netflix.
Fuck
hey,
Nexus.
Close enough.
You suck. That was where wrestling started dying around that time, so I definitely don't like them.
After they were bullied and buried by Cena, no doubt. But
yeah, I didn't like
everything
it.
that I read from there was that it was just some type of autograph type thing, and
I remember thinking the Nexus was lame, and then they fired Daniel Bryan because he choked somebody with a tie, and I was like, wow, that's really lame.
That was awful. Justin Roberts got choked. It looked great on TV. The ring being torn apart was great.
I didn't think it looked great. I thought it looked dumb.
I really liked that angle, too.
Justin Roberts was like he was like, it was like comedy. He was like, and he was acting, it was funny, but it like wasn't like... It was like these guys. I
thought he said he was actually choking.
Well, they were doing
I thought
this.
That was the quote.
If he looked like an idiot. I mean, they were doing this big angle that was supposed to be serious, but I couldn't take it serious because I've seen it done so many other times. Like, but then I was like, oh, this is pretty crazy. They're getting kind of crazy. And then I seen him being choked, and I was like, I started laughing because he's like, and it just looked dumb. And then they fired Daniel Bryan. I was like, oh my God, they fired this guy because of how goofy that looked. I can't believe it. Then I found out, no, they fired him because you're not supposed to choke people. And I was like, what? And then it was worse. Like I kind of understood what I thought it was. Like, oh, they fired him because that looked goofy and he ruined the whole angle because it looked so stupidly funny that the seriousness of the whole angle was ruined by that shot. And
he says right here, he really did strangle me, and people still to this day ask me if I was acting, and I wasn't acting. I was legitimately getting choked. I tried to get my finger in between. I remember him grabbing his shirt collar, and finger in between my neck and tie, but I just couldn't get it to go in. I was choked for a short amount of time, but I was fine. And when I got to the back, everybody was happy with the way the segment went. Vince was happy. I was happy. Nexus was happy.
Hello?
Did you lose me there?
Yeah, you muted, or you went mute.
Goddamn. Basically, he said that, he was legitimately choked, and he wasn't acting. He kept trying to get his finger into his collar the entire time. And it wasn't, everybody loved it in the back, and Vince loved it, and the angle went over.
Then why did they fire Daniel Bryan?
Until the sponsor got upset days later.
The sponsor?
And then one of the sponsors got upset, gave hell to Vince, and Vince had to fire Daniel Bryan over the choking. They said that was simulated violence that went too far. But he was trying to get his finger into his collar to get air, but he was legitimately choking. He wasn't acting there.
But
so he looks like an idiot.
But that look, yeah. See, like, so now, like, I get it. That's why he does look so crazy, because he's actually like fucked right here.
Because he's actually out of air. Yeah.
Why did Daniel Bryan choke him that way? But whatever.
He didn't. Justin Roberts said that he didn't know that he was going to be attacked till like moments before. Arn Anderson told him, "You may not be safe." And Daniel Bryan didn't really like give him any details what was going on. He said Daniel's smart and just took advantage of the opportunity. So
now, again, this looked. I'm sorry, I saw this on TV, and this part made me go, "What the fuck?" Like that. That's ridiculous.
See, to me, when I saw his face like that, I'm like, "Oh shit, he's really choking him." That's how
I saw this as, "Oh wow, he's overselling the fuck out of this dumb thing." Like,
yeah, see, it's funny the way you can two people can view things so completely.
Like, this doesn't look like you're really being choked to me. Like that doesn't.
See, to me, with the action of him like desperately pulling and trying to get anything he can under, like I mentally he knows, all right, he's not going to kill me, but you're still instinctively trying to get at your throat to get some air because you're not a trained performer. You're not used to this, and you can. Yeah, Taz said in some company can fire by choking people. Yeah, it was a big thing with the sponsors, but.
Yeah, it just reminded me of a guy like selling a choke is what I thought. I can't believe it was real. I mean, I remember I found out it was real. I was like, "What? Are you serious?" Like, I can't.
Crazy stuff. And that's the thing too. Somebody mentioned too. I know we're in the Raw review, but this is all encompassing because we're dealing with Edge tonight, and the reason they're also holding off is because they do want to go with Roman. You know, tentatively he's still set to challenge Roman, but they don't want to make it so obvious, as Joe said earlier. So they're waiting till after the Chamber to make the announcement. But it seems like at this point in time, on the Raw side of things, it might be Sheamus. It could be a triple threat. It could be, it might even be Bobby Lashley if need be. That's not terrible. SmackDown, the problem is they had Edge out there, then they had Kevin Owens come out. Why? Because we still have 2 pay-per-views. 1 2 weeks from now. So we have a break 1 week from the Rumble, and then 2 weeks after we have another pay-per-view. So this Sunday we have their St. Valentine's Day, Vengeance Day for NXT TakeOver. The week after we have the Elimination Chamber, and then I believe the week or 2 after that is the AEW pay-per-view, and then the week or so after that is the other WWE pay-per-view, and then, you know, shortly after that is WrestleMania. So they don't need the 2 pay-per-views in between Rumble and Mania. Having 2 shows, it was different when they had brand pay-per-views. You know, Raw had its own and SmackDown had its own. Then you needed the one for each to finish the stories for Mania. But now we have to build a chamber match in 1 week's time. We have to build the rest of the show. So they announced 3 matches tonight, and they throw it all together because what else are they going to do? I mean, they have to give you some sort of show, so they have to throw all this together. And obviously, they're going to want to build up Fastlane because that's the first one on Peacock. So they're really going to shortchange Elimination Chamber, and that's a terrible thought to have to shortchange one show to build up another. They just shouldn't have the show and build us a better show. That's the mindset they need to adjust.
I don't know what they're just throwing. So many special events, pay-per-views.
That's the thing. So many events and specials and pay-per-views.
I don't even
all these
know,
things.
man. It's weird. It's like they're swerving. They're going the same place they wanted to go, but they're doing these little swervies, delay tactics to get there. And I get what they're doing, but it's just we're already over it. Like this is why they can't have this long-term booking going on all over the place anymore, because it's just too much. They're too boring now to do this. So we're going to have to deal with this forever until Mania, and it's like, good Christ. We better play the donations. We're really behind. Here we go. Shit bum!
My whole out of 10 raw-tarded.
My whole out of 10, Shell says, raw-tarded. So she is not happy about Monday Night Raw tonight, is Shell. And I don't blame you, Shell, whatsoever. By the way, Shell is the top donator, and she is the top dog.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but why Owens, as I was saying? Because who else do they have there? They have Big E, but he's got the IC title, so he's got to lose the title, then get built up to face Roman. They didn't really push Owens; they just kind of threw him in there because they didn't have anybody. They turned Nakamura only because Cesaro didn't re-sign at that point in time. Now Cesaro did re-sign, so they had him turn after beating.
Is it
Daniel
just
Bryan
me, or does the
time.
US title feel like the most over belt right now?
I will say Bobby Lashley, besides Lacey Evans and Charlotte. Lacey Evans and Charlotte was gold, or not gold, but it was good until the very end, and then they ruined it. But Bobby Lashley tonight looked really good. He was the only other thing that looked good. But
he has looked very dominant and believable as the U.S. champion. So.
Yeah, but tonight I felt it from him. I was like, all right, he's going there. He beat the fuck out of Keith Lee and everybody in the belt and everything. So yeah, Bobby Lashley tonight, I will say, for the first time since Bobby Lashley has been in TNA, tonight, I felt that Bobby Lashley was actually a fucking badass. So they did it. Shit bomb! Finally.
You become a shit bomb.
Evan Rivera.
I don't even think Alexa Bliss was on Raw.
She wasn't. That guy was an idiot. I called him a greasy fucking Italian fuck, and I'm Italian, so I can call him a guinea fucking chicken face or whatever. Evan Rivera, thanks for the $1.99. Yeah, fuck him, dude. Fuck his greasy fucking golden necklace fucking wearing Sicilian looking fucking smelly parent living at home motherfucker. Fuck you. Shit that guy on Twitter. I hope everybody fucking calls him an asshole.
Shit bomb.
Have you seen Tyler X' new look?
Yeah,
we talked about this on Out of Nowhere, which if you didn't see, you missed the other night. Great show, but
we fucked him.
Yeah,
Dorian Moore.
He
thanks,
is now
man.
She.
He's
So
now
brave.
She.
So brave.
glad he fucking figured it out finally. You know what I mean? Especially his wife. I want to see that porn. Send me that porn. I'm down with it. I actually wished her well. I tweeted her the other day. I said, congrats on
absolutely.
The one only for Naomi Sass. Flair story what actually work if done right from start and acting was way better. It's like Attitude Era if they watch show PG-13 clips hooking up with Lacey.
Oh.
Why is Dollar and Bank winner in chip match?
Why is Dollar and Bank Money in the
Money
Bank?
in the Bank. Yeah, why does The Miz get a shot at the title when he's the Money in the Bank briefcase holder?
What is that?
How does
about?
that again? That's what I was saying. It doesn't make any sense. Anytime they put a Money in the Bank holder into a title match,
And he's god awful too, by the way.
so then you have to relinquish the briefcase when you win the title. So what's the point of
my
the
God.
briefcase? You know, how do you defeat the briefcase?
Just
and
burn the
demoralize it
briefcase.
even more? Yeah,
burn the briefcase.
so deflated.
You become a shit bomb.
Gentle on James.
Alexa Bliss makes me wanna blow my load.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss does definitely make my spot down below grow hard. She wasn't there tonight though, unfortunately. But good. That way JD didn't have to watch somebody he thinks sucks at sex in bed, you know? It's a good thing that JD from New York and his little midget fucking ass didn't have to watch Alexa Bliss. Someone who lays down in the bedroom or whatever he said, you know what I mean? As opposed to him, who with his 4-inch pecker, according to his ex-girlfriend who called our show, you know, and while he was cheating on her with 3 other women, who all got angry at him too. Probably penis had something to do with it. You know, I would think that, you know, at least he was probably happy that he didn't have to look at the unable to have sex Alexa Bliss step in the ring and do anything tonight. You know, so that was good for him and many of us. So definitely thankful for that, no doubt about it, like Thanksgiving. Bomb! Here comes Evan Rivera again.
You become a shit bomb.
I liked the outside theme for Mania 9.
Yeah, I liked it too. The setup looked great. It was really cool. And then all the stuff they did with the Caesar's Palace stuff was always fun. And I remember as a kid, I was a big Shawn Michaels fan and Hulk Hogan fan. So when I heard that Shawn Michaels Sexy Boy start to play, dude, I got so pumped. I was a 9-year-old kid, and I was like, yeah, fucking ding, 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 ding. And I was, oh, dude, I was ready to go. In fact, I got fucking videos of me when I was a kid.
You become
loving that.
A shit bomb.
WrestleMania 9.
Mania 9 main event should have been Savage versus Brett.
You know,
yeah.
that would have been. You know, that's unfortunate that we didn't get that match because that would have been fire. And then made like Yokozuna and Hogan in a grudge match or something. That would have been way better.
Yeah, that would have made more sense too. And
yep,
yeah, there's so many things that would have been better. But
Yoko,
just the fact that look
man.
at how much they didn't do with Savage, especially toward those later years.
Well,
yeah,
Savage was,
he could still wrestle,
and he could have still done commentary. He could have been on commentary and then be like, "Well, it's time for my match," and he could have just done his match.
Stopped him entirely from wrestling. I know he was like, "Oh, I need the younger wrestlers," but then he still had old people, older wrestlers there too.
Well, he also did get hurt, and so he was taking a break for injury. And I almost think that Vince said, "Oh yeah, you're hurt or whatever. Fuck you. Then you're on commentary. I guess you're too old." I almost wonder if that was Vince just
if
being
that was kind of like his attitude. Yeah.
Like Vince was being like angry or something or spiteful about the fact that
we know Vince is petty like that. So.
Yeah, because you need a break. All right, well you're our commentator now. I'm ready to go back, Vince. No, you're not. I could totally see it. Oh my God! Speaking of, you want to talk about WrestleMania 9? Do you really want to talk about WrestleMania 9? Ladies and gentlemen, I got WrestleMania 9 for you. That's right. We got Joe Cronin. You want to talk about embarrassing? WrestleMania 9. Joe Cronin was how old? Joe Cronin was a 9-year-old child at WrestleMania 9. And here is Joe Cronin at 9 years old, pumped up for WrestleMania 9. Ready. Doing the entrances. Yes, it's Bret the Hitman Joe Cronin. Yes, look at that. Look at the Shawn Michaels moves by Joe Cronin when he was 9 years old, doing the sexy boy at 9 years old. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, the look, the glasses. Oh my God, it's WrestleMania 9. I was watching. Were you watching? Look at the shades. Yeah, yeah. Give it to me. Give it to me. 9-year-old Joe. Give it to me. That's right, 1991. Sorry. You didn't think I was going to whip that out, did you?
No.
Nobody saw that coming.
I didn't. When you said you were going to whip it out, I got excited. I mean,
Nobody saw that coming.
Disappointed, but
that was. You won't be disappointed. You weren't disappointed by that. Let me tell you this.
I can think of a certain wheel champion that got excited seeing a young Joe Cronin.
You look at that, and what is that? What does my sweatshirt say? Sweats? There's a couple of pedophiles sweating right now watching this video.
You're making them moist.
Yeah. Do you know how many pedophiles right now are running to their fucking recording buttons? Come on, man.
Dampening their brow with stolen panties.
And look at, you know what's behind me to the left? A player fucking piano. Where you step on the pedals and the mechanical thing plays all the songs with the scroll inside of it from the 1900s. And there's all the scrolls behind me right there. There they are. My parents were fucking weird. My dad had a lot of money before we lost
Flexing that piano money.
Look at that. I mean, you won't see this anywhere else. Let's go.
Young Joe Cronin reenacts all your favorite WrestleMania entrances now on Blu-ray.
That's what I was doing. I did 3 of them. I did Shawn, I did Brett, and I did Hogan. All right.
Red Shell caught that
and
one.
I swear to God, somewhere we got me doing Tatanka. That's a really horrible one. Like,
that's even better.
Look at look at this, Jake. I'm even gonna beat up. I'm even gonna have a match here with Goofy. Look at Goofy. Look at this. I'm gonna have a match with Goofy, which I did get from Disneyland. Remember Bulletproof with Damon Wayans? Disneyland. Yeah. Look at this chop. Here comes the chop. He's got him in the corner. He's only 9 years old, but I'm going to chop it over the top rope. He goes.
Dear God, what did Goofy do to you?
I don't know, man, but it's hard to believe that was 27 years ago. Yeah, 27 years ago. Anyway, all right, enough of making fun of me. Back to the donos. Actually, we got to go back. There's so many of them. Shit bum. Or there were.
OSW Review just did their WrestleMania 11 review a couple months ago. Seriously, they are saying the same thing as you guys. Also, Raw in a nutshell was my hole. Ali going crazy on commentary.
My hole.
Lacey Evans laughing and botching. Shane was there for no reason.
For no reason.
Nebbit the Jew, yeah. One of the best parts about I thought Lacey Evans' promo that as they went off to commercial was funny too, where she's like, "You nasty," because she's the best when she calls people nasties. I love it.
But I like her initially saying like, "Oh, I'll tag with you," and then, "Oh, no, you said no to me. Well, I don't really want you," because Charlotte was trying to be face still, which they need to heal Charlotte here.
Right?
Face Charlotte
you become a shit bomb.
Oh,
What
shit!
What is wrong with Nia saying my hole? It's like she ate 200 trillion Twinkies and tried to let it out in the bathroom, but that's WWE for you. They don't make it interesting, they just made it worse. 010 SMH.
Oh my God, E-Murder giving it a 0, dude. Everyone's saying zeros tonight. That's how bad it is.
Goofy assaulted my hole. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh yeah.
Shit bomb.
Several times. E-Murder, thank you, E-Murder.
A shit
now
bomb.
J-Mac.
What's up? It's diverse.
Yo.
Goofy Backlund like Nikki Cross.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Oh, kind of like how Nikki Cross acts, J-Mac. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Yeah. Kind of like that. That's true. But even I think Bob Backlund was even weirder, to be honest. I think Nikki at least has this kind of craziness. Bob Backlund has this sort of dork-assness. So I'm not really sure, brother, but you're close, though. E-Murder, man.
Bomb.
Gave him the top dog.
You become
Thank you, E-Murder.
a shit bomb.
Raw is bore. Get me to Wednesday or kill me, please.
Yeah, we really got to get to AEW.
Absolutely.
I need AEW to erase this. Dude, I'm miserable. I'm about to fall asleep.
I honestly wish AEW had a chance to start out before it was on television. Like they had a chance to grow, like a Ring of Honor, or because they really just started off so big so quick.
Yeah.
Because you've never seen anyone have that type of financial backing.
They should make Retribution kinda like Dark Order. After the predictable loss, Ali just calmly walks in the ring and kicks the loser in the nuts. Repeat for 6 weeks. I love it.
Oh, if they beat the hell out of every time somebody lost? Yeah, Ali should be trouncing and trampling any of his teammates for losing. Like, he should be that type of leader, but
yeah,
damn, I'm telling you, it was just what a waste on all of that. Total waste. Yeah, Charlotte is better as a heel, obviously, but her saying that, oh, you're Charlotte 2.0, I'm like, okay, I get your point, but and she's like, I've already got a tag team partner, and that's Asuka. You guys lost the tag title, so you're still a tag team? They're still keeping up with that? Like, it just and then, like you said, I accept the match in Nasty after she runs her into the stairs. That was funny. I like that. I do like Lacey Evans. I've always enjoyed Lacey Evans. There was a point in time last year before COVID, you know, I think actually 2019, where I was hoping she would beat Becky, and then there was a time when she was on SmackDown, I thought she was going to beat Bayley. We really thought she was going to beat Bayley at one point. I think it was the Rumble last year, actually. And then they did nothing with her. They pushed her. They made her into a face. They had her be like Miss America. They focused on her being a veteran and super stay-at-home mom on top of it. Like, they did everything they could to push her, and then they didn't give her the title.
What are you talking about?
So, with Lacey Evans last year, I preferred that, but you know, I get what they went with, and it was better to have Bayley hold on to the title to then go and face Sasha. The story there was better, but yeah, we are getting that triple threat, and that seems D. Welsh is right there. Lacey, Charlotte, and Asuka, and then Charlotte will end up winning, and then she'll go to Mania, and it'll either be, well, you know, do we see Bianca Belair go against Charlotte and get that story kind of wrapped up? Because I mean, that's what we kind of saw between those three. You know,
Leah just came down here and yelled at me and was like, "Where's the pot?" Because said, "My eyes are burning. What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What?" I've been live here. I go, "You better go check around the house because I fucking not. There's no fucking pot here.
Better go make sure no stoves left on." Or
I'm like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "What is she?" Oh my god, she's mad. She stared at me like I did something horrible. And I'm like, "Oh boy, what happened?
What did I do now?" And I know those you know, evil looks.
But then when she said like, "When did you smoke pot?" and I went, "What? Like what the fuck? There's no pot." So that was anyway. I just
like I ate all the edibles an hour ago, but no, I didn't smoke anything. Jesus.
Yeah,
It would have made Raw better, that's for sure.
It would have made me insane. I'd be running around the house right now fucking...
She would know if you're high. We would all know if you were high.
You know when I was high in high school, when I looked like this? That's when I was high. Look at that fucking necklace. It's almost the same as the one I have now, but way thinner. I mean, that's high right there.
That famous puka shell necklace look.
That's called... You get 3 hours of sleep, then you go to school and you go on TV.
Drew sent me a picture with my eyes rolled in the back of my head for Monetize This.
Oh, really? If I had that photo, I would have whacked off to it.
I was literally just, you know, totally dead to the world, mouth wide open and done for.
Wish to God that I had seen that because I would have tossed myself.
I was still conscious, too. Like, I heard the conversation and everything, and then when people would talk, I would just kind of come back into it and answer and then space back out. And it was good.
Tell that bitch you make the money. Someone says.
Slap her around and tell her that, and then she'll kick the crap out of Joe. Can't have that. That
would be funny. Tell that bitch you make the money.
Speaking of the woman taking over, you know, and I like the fact that they addressed it, saying that Lacey isn't, you know, sleeping with him. Everybody that said that is just being cute, but she's here for the respect that he deserves. Obviously, she's just using Rick to get under Charlotte's skin. But I like that they made note that it isn't a sexual relationship like they tried to insinuate the week before. So I'm thankful that's not the case because we know she's married. When she was a face, they showed her daughter on TV. And they showed her husband at home. They did that with things. So it was really uncomfortable to keep showing her hanging on Rick. But now that you know it's like, oh, it's her manager, it's like, okay, I get where they're going with it. I'm thankful they didn't turn it into a romance thing because that's creepy. He's old as hell. She's married.
But Vince would do that. But they did that with
he's done that a bunch of times, so it's not.
But they did that. They did the same thing with who's the little midget girl who's gone now. Where they were like, oh, it's just a business relationship. What?
Oh.
Comes a donation by Jeremy. What? What the fuck is going on? Hello?
cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb
What's up, Jay?
Cause Karens are shit.
What's up, Jay? Mwah.
Jeremy tipped $3. Watching here with COVID. Jesus Raw just made me sick, more face vomiting.
Oh, God. Jeremy, I hope you get better, man. Let me know.
Oh, shit,
probably
Jeremy, feel better. So many people dealing with COVID, and it's like,
probably the
people
35th
now
person.
after this weekend.
Jay, I drove by your house the other day, man. What's up? All right, I just drove by your house. I was thinking of you the other day because I drove by your house. Yeah, man.
I was walking in your backyard earlier, Joe. I was just checking out how you did shoveling, but
yeah, I had to snowblow everything.
Yeah. I love that. You know, what an ultimate flex on the neighborhood when you whip out the snowblower. Yeah. I do the same thing because we got one a few years back, and it's been the best investment ever. Especially when I was so much heavier. Shoveling was, killer. Now you walk around with the snowblower, and I love it.
Thank God I didn't pay for it, or I wouldn't have invested.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
I got it from my uncle. He was like, "We're moving to Florida." My uncle is a firefighter. Funny thing too is he was like the chief of this big area in Massachusetts. So whenever there's a fire, he'd be on TV like talking about it. But yeah, he moved to Florida, so he was like, "Yeah, I'll give you my you can have my snowblower." And I was like, "Are you serious? What the fuck?" So we got this like $1,000 snowblower.
Yeah, I remember when you got that. That was great.
Yeah, well, I left it at my mom's house though, so it was never here for 2 years.
Finally, you brought it.
Well, I left it because I was like, "You need to have it, Mom. You shouldn't be out there." She goes, "It's too much work. It's more work. I can't do it. I don't use it." And she didn't use it once, so I was like, "Okay." So she's like, "You better just take it." She's like, "You'll be out there doing it." My mom just goes out and shovels a path and gets to the car, and that's it.
Yeah, she just needs the one line is where you got the cars, the neighbors.
But that's the other thing is the neighbor across the street plows her out anyway. So then it's like, I don't know.
It's double the effort for you, and I do our elderly neighbor next door, and then we always help our other neighbors and things like that too.
You do.
She loves it. Bend her right over, right in the snow. It's great.
This is fucking disgusting.
Hey, Flair brought up the old biddies, but I just had to keep it going.
Oh,
it was so good I made her scream bingo. But back to the Raw.
I figured out what the smell was.
Yeah, what's that?
A skunk.
That would be it. That's some bad weed though. If you're smoking something that smells like a skunk, you're either back at Woodstock times or somebody screwed you over.
She's retarded and thinks that a skunk smells like weed. I mean, that's
that's some awful weed. You don't want to smoke that.
I kind of smell it now too. Now that I think I'm smelling, because our windows are all fucked here. Like if you sit next to any window in the house, just cold air is flying in. So, like, if anything goes on outside, you smell it in the house because our windows suck so bad. So
I was smoking not long ago before the snowfall outside, and I had a skunk chase me, and another time a raccoon ran at me. Being high, it's never fun to get chased by woodland creatures.
Well, after you fucking your old neighbor, you deserve to be fucking eaten to pieces by a fucking neighborhood thing.
She didn't complain.
Here comes Jeremy with $3. Again.
Time and again.
Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture.
I'll fix the donation someday when I give a fuck when Raw actually doesn't suck. You like that, Bear? Yeah, I like that. Fuck your asshole.
Jeremy tipped $3. Holy shit, fucking boring. Why the same matches over and over every week? You have how many people on your roster? And they use same people every week.
We'll never
1.2, 10 just because Lee and Lashley.
He's right though. Jeremy's so right.
Joe?
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy.
Donate to Joe? Thank you for the donation.
Actually named Todd as well.
Because you donated.
Tagatsu Todd. He's a $25 producer.
In the bunghole.
Tonkotsu Todd tipped $7. Such a horrible show. 0 out of 10 show tonight. Vince can suck a dick, and
horrible.
Jeff needs to jump ship and join Matt in AU and be as over as he deserves to be.
Now, Matt's not doing very well either, but
Matt's not doing great at all. But yeah, Jeff, I don't think he wants to do the Hardy Boy thing because he could have. He could have just left, and then AEW would have taken him right then and there. They've said it before. They wanted the Hardy Boys. One of the things that Tony Khan had on his wish list was the Hardy Boys.
Ha, Tony.
Goldberg was there.
There's the donation list, everybody. Those are the current donations right now. Everybody keeps donating the ones that aren't on the list. I don't know why. $3, $7, they're not on the list. 4, 425, 8, 11, 12, 15, 18.
Turkey's Joe.
They're all there. It's all Karens and sevens. Ed's View.
Ed's View tipped $3. Joe, please play Nia's clip with Tommy's cleaning up my system clip.
Oh man.
EWWWWW.
That's fucking hilarious.
Ed's View.
I'll try to find it, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm so tired right now. I like please hit me with a phone.
I've got too much energy. You've got not enough, but
yeah, I've got no energy. That show ruined everything.
One of my blood tests wasn't great, so they put me on this different type of fiber gummy type thing to try and help improve, certain elements of the blood work that wasn't great. I'm on that and a couple of different vitamins, a daily vitamin, the whole sorts of shit. Any event, one of them unfortunately gives you horrific gas. Right? Reason I'm telling you this is because hopefully it'll cheer your day. Danny has her homeschooling, and I didn't realize, but they changed the schedule. So when I had gotten up this morning, unfortunately, as I just walked in the hallway, let out probably the loudest fart in my entire life. And I believe all of Danny's 8th grade class heard it. So there's that. So no matter how crap your day is, at least, you didn't embarrass the hell out of your daughter. I think she got away with it, but you never know for sure. This damn whole schooling needs to end. I can imagine that's why you're exhausted, because it's literally soul-sucking. It's funny, all the people that used to complain about the teachers before now say the teachers just don't get paid enough. This is what we get. So
yeah, well, they're barely. Honestly, they might be working double the hard, but they're doing half the work now because the parents have to enforce all the stuff. And
exactly, they're not there to, as you said, enforce anything. So they're not doing the work.
It's basically like,
that's all there is to it.
If you were a parent who did not enjoy having to tell your kid about the half an hour to 1 hour homework that they had to do every night, and you were like, oh God, I gotta fucking remind them about the homework. They have a half an hour to an hour of homework. Oh my God, I gotta remind them like 5,000 times. Like, if you were upset about that, like, this is not even close. Because now you have to remind them about being in class every second, and then being in another class, and then all the work for those classes the same day, and then the homework that comes later that they give out. So, and then it's just, dude, fuck this, bro. Go back to, I'm at the point where, listen, and maybe I'll die. Maybe I'll get COVID and die. I may get COVID and die. Maybe I'll get COVID and die. Maybe a family member of mine will die. I don't know. But at this point, I just want to go back. Just fuck it. I'm going back. People are going to die. Done. People are going to die. I'm going back to fucking work and school.
Exactly.
People are going to die.
The hospitals are overloaded. Who cares if people can't have children? We need to get out of this.
It's too late. It's fucking too late, because you know what? They let this shit
too far.
No, the minute they didn't close down the planes and the flights right away, and the whole country and the world didn't lock down immediately, nobody did. Nobody did the right thing. Nobody locked down the right way. Not a single person. The minute that they allowed everybody to just not give a shit, that was the minute. It's too late. It's already everywhere. It's too late.
It was done for. And the funny part is, too, like you said, the teachers are they might be working less hard because they're not with the kids, but they're working like twice as hard, having to do all the stupid shit online. I see them batting their brains out, and it's like, because it's so unfair, because you can't do any normal lesson plans. None of it works. That's the thing. Absolutely none of it works. They need to get this shit done and over with.
My daughter...
We need to be able to go see live wrestling. We need fans in attendance. We saw the Super Bowl yesterday. There were fans there.
Felt good.
As you said, for WrestleMania, they're going to allow people to buy cutouts, because they're going to do every other fan type seating with cutouts, just because it looked good for the Super Bowl, which it did. It looked good. I thought it looked better than empty seats. And I guess they're going to do some type of purchase system where you can purchase cutouts just like the NFL did for donations for some type of charity thing. Fine, all well and good. That's great. We need live fans. That's what this comes down to. The Rumble suffered because of it. The shows are suffering. There's no instant feedback. The Thunderdome is controlled by your freaking, employees. So you're telling people who to cheer for and who to boo for. That's not actual fan reaction. You're not getting an actual judgment of what the crowd thinks of the product you're putting on. And when they do get back to fans, that honeymoon period is going to break real quick. That first excitement, like I don't care what WWE does. I'm just happy to see the lights, the smoke, and be around people. That's going to go away super fast. And then people are going to start booing the shit out of the product again. They're really going to have to try hard when they get fans in the building. And they know it. That's why they're not rushing to get fans.
Yeah, I hope that somebody sodomizes a cardboard cutout at WrestleMania. I mean, they looked good the other day, at the Super Bowl, so.
Hey, I'd like to see somebody, Bufu and Hitler in the third section. So
did you see that I was winning $5,000?
I saw earlier today. This is the first year I did not watch any of the Super Bowl. God. Dude. I was glad that Brady won. I'm obviously not a Buccaneers fan, but it's kind of cool to see Brady do it in a sense of on another teams. You can't just say it is just the Patriots. He took the Buccaneers, with obvious help.
Oh, I had a blast. Again. I had a blast last night.
I watched Brady. Most of the stream earlier today, getting out of the dentist, and it was hilarious.
Look, that was halftime.
You were going nuts, and I was like, you literally must have been sweating bullets for a $50 payout, or for buy-in to have that payout. I was like, Joe must have been losing his mind. You were holding together pretty close, but you were up to what, 5th place? Oh, 6th place there.
Look at this. I mean, dude, 6th place of 40,000 people.
My hole.
I had Brady on all my teams. I only had 7 entries. I had 7 entries for like $3-4 each entry, and the 176 out of 1 million almost is insane. And then I ended up winning this. This is what I won, everybody. That's what I won. That's what I ended up winning.
That's awesome. I know.
I mean, it's awesome, but it was like
they were kneeling, and I see you getting negative points, and I was like, please don't let this screw him. Oh my God, that would be horrific.
Oh my God, dude, they're kneeling, and I'm like, are you fucking serious that this negative yardage can't go fuck myself in the ass, dude?
No chin in hell said the streaker won $375,000 on his own bet. That's insane.
What?
I mean, I guess there was issues with some of the payouts for bookies too.
Yeah,
MGM couldn't pay out certain people. They had major issues, and another one, DraftKings went quite well, but somebody else had a really bad issue for a while. So.
Have you seen this?
Someone has run on the field. Some guy with a bra. And now
this guy began calling the streaker on the field, which, by the way, is exactly what I would have done if I was doing the commentary. So this guy is a legend.
Field,
they handled it
some
well.
Guy with a bra. And now he's not being chased.
He hates gay people. He's like, some guy with a bra. He hates gay people.
He's running down the middle of the 40. Arms in the air in a victory salute. He's pulling down his pants. Put up your pants, my man. Pull up those pants. He's being chased to the 30. He breaks a tackle from a security guard.
He did. He fucking, oh my God, he lit the security guard up, bro. Holy shit, dude. He lights the security guard up right here, dude. Oh my God, dude. He lights the security up. Look at this.
He breaks a tackle from a security guard. The 20,
oh,
down the middle
look
of the
at
10, the 5. He slides at the 1, and they converge on him at the goal.
Oh, might have scored a touchdown.
They do. I mean, he
Pull
slid.
Up your
and just
pants,
right
take off the bra, and be a man.
See, that's going to get heat from the SJWs.
Oh, I'm sure, but what a great announcer call. The whole thing.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
That'll get heat. Like you said,
because this guy knew, like, listen, the Super Bowl is just a blowout. This is going to be the best thing I call. Like, so I'm just going to call this.
And the players with hands on hips at the other end of the field are looking at him and shaking their head and saying, why, oh, why is this taking place in a Super Bowl?
Oh, my God.
5:03 to go. Someone has run on the field.
I didn't know that was Vitali that did that. Oh, Jesus.
I love how he just goes in, like he's calling the game, and then he just goes into it. Like 5:03 left on the fin. Someone is on the field. Like he goes
30,
right.
Go 20. Yeah.
5:03 to go. Someone has run on the field. Some guy with a bra.
Some guy with a bra. Yeah. If that is Vitali, if that's legit, that's ridiculous. I mean, he's streaked on how many things now? Moki Z was telling us. For the prankster from YouTube. He used to do all the gold dig and hitman pranks and things like that.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh, he has the channel logo on it. Yeah, that's him. It figures. He's always doing stupid shit for attention with his roid rage.
I just say
I
somebody.
thought he was in jail for beating the hell out of that girl.
Somebody should have beat him.
He literally hid in a bush, jumped out, and beat the hell out of some random girl as a prank.
The fuck?
He well should have was Kevin Harlan. Well, either way, maybe he was more Vitali, but
We're
still.
the champions of the world, and we still have 1:33 to go.
Here's the call by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play-by-play guys.
Devin White, what a great second season. The All-American from LSU, Rookie of the Year a year ago, and White, 13 tackles, 4 assists, 9 solos, and a pick in the end zone.
And a pick in the end zone.
That's it
It's
for
good
KC.
one-year-old Yuri
Bucks
Andrade,
are the
so it's
Super Bowl
not
champs.
Vitali.
They can't stop the
Right.
clock. There will be no
Maybe it has
repeat.
something to do with
The
Vitali.
kingdom will go home sad.
Oh, yeah, he
And the
works with
Buccaneer
Vitali because it says we effing did it under Vitali. So
Nation will celebrate, and I want to hear cannons.
We do.
I want to hear cannons. Give
Or
me
is that
cannons.
Vitali? Is that him? It's just his real name. Yeah.
I want to hear
Vitali.
cannons.
This guy's name is Dick.
Yeah, it is Vitali. Okay. it
This
is.
guy. This guy's name is Dick Vitale.
No. Vitali is the streaker.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about him. I hope he dies.
I was trying to see who it was if it actually was.
And I think we are going to hear cannons. If I
Cannons! I think we are going to hear cannons.
got to do the boom, boom, boom myself.
I'm going to do the boom, boom, boom myself here in Tampa Bay. Cannons for Tom Brady.
Bucks win the Super Bowl 55. Tom Brady engineers the offense. The Buccaneers score late in the first half, early in the second half. And there the cannons come. Fire them. Keep on firing them.
Yeah, fire the cannons. Nobody cares.
Keep on firing them. How about the Buccaneers, huh? 7-5 after November. Now this is our 8th consecutive win. Franchise records. Celebrate, Buccaneer fans. Hoist that Lombardi.
Hoist that Lombardi. It's time to go.
Yeah,
Quite
he works
frankly,
for Vitali. It's not actually Vitali. It's some other douchebag.
I'm going to be
Maybe
in Men in
something.
Black 7. Sounds like the guy from Men in Black.
Yeah, Rip Torn. Or
Yeah, he sounds like that guy.
It does.
Football recovered by the Chiefs.
Whoa, there's the
Mahomes
play. What a
maybe hit as
play.
hard as he's been hit in 3. A penalty for taunting. May run. Mahomes directed. Goes toward the end down. Batted intercepted. Picked off in the end zone.
Picked
Bucks
off in the
gonna
end
beat
zone. I
Chiefs.
can be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play-by-play announcer. If this guy dies, Joe Cronin's going to go down to Tampa Bay, and I'm going to do my best impression. Off the snap, it's fumbled back. Tom Brady recovers it, though, and he throws a Hail Mary to nowhere land, and it's caught by Gronkowski. Oh, my, what a play. Tampa Bay with a miracle-like play from a blunder that would have haunted Tom Brady's nightmares, but instead he turns it into dreams that come true in Tampa Bay. Unbelievable. Sorry. I've lost my mind. I'll be okay. I'm gonna be alright.
Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you.
I think I replayed a dono that we already heard. My bad. I replayed
So
one.
good we heard it twice.
We heard it again.
Is there any update on when The Fiend or Bray Wyatt will be coming back? Raw needs The Fiend like Drew needs a credible news source.
I'm at the point where, like, the fact that the thing, not optimistic about Mania, the fact that the things that we're talking about are The Fiend when he comes back and where Alexa Bliss is, but we don't really care, like, it makes me angry that those are even things that we're talking about. Like, that we're, I mean, I get why we are, you know, but my God, bro.
I know.
I don't even care. I don't care. You could tell me tomorrow Fiend's not coming back, and I'd be like,
I like the Fiend, I do, but I don't know. The stuff with Alexa Bliss got too
long with it.
Shit bomb!
They need to do more big things.
You become a shit bomb.
They don't get it.
Bet Nia's box looks like a punched lasagna.
I bet Nia
extra beefy.
I bet you she has a dick.
They said lasagna. I said extra beefy. You know, there's sausage in there somewhere behind the beef curtain. She's got to have both, Joe.
I think she has a busted ravioli.
Hermaphrodite, you know.
Alan Samways, thank you for the donation, man.
Wears lace and flannel.
Shit bomb!
I'm in a mood to razor myself.
You become a shit bomb.
Austin vs. Rocket Mania 15 is probably the best electric crowd in the Attitude Era.
I don't know. Maybe a WrestleMania, maybe. I gotta go back. I mean, I've seen that match a lot. It's not a great match. It's kind of like just brawling everywhere and stuff, but it's so hype that it was good. But
yeah, I mean,
it's like their worst match of the three.
Shit bomb!
You want to go best crowd? It's probably Hogan.
You
Rock,
become
really.
a shit bomb.
I mean, maybe it means overall. I mean,
Please give us a my whole donation. Raw was terrible 2/10.
I am working on the new Nia Jax my whole donation. We will have that soon.
My hole!
So,
what did you think of Edge tonight?
like
I personally gonna cut you off and say I thought he was too heavily scripted, but good still. So I'll let you run with it, but
I just
that's my initial.
I thought he was fine on the mic, but again, I thought what Edge did was like a 7 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10. But
I would go like a 6 tonight.
But what everybody else did was like a 2, so it felt that
he still shines, but first I was really disappointed to see Angel Garza lumped in with Miz and Morrison, because that's how you know, like, oh, they really don't care about him.
You know how I know they don't.
They wouldn't have him on TV
I know why they don't
but
care about him. I know why they don't care about him, because every week he's like just trying to fucking rape some girl.
Well, no, they threw him in this angle because he's got an ethnic background, so they're lumping him in. They have all the ethnicities together.
This
Bad
is what
Bunny,
you think?
Damian Priest, Angel Garza, because they're trying to draw in that ethnic crowd to watch WrestleMania.
But you think this is what tells you that they don't like him or they don't care? I mean, I feel like they haven't cared for like 12 weeks about him.
No, that's what I'm saying. But he was supposed to be getting this like repackaging and big, return we had talked about. What, 8 weeks ago? Then 6 weeks we haven't seen him. 4 weeks, it was that kind of thing. Maybe
dude, look at Andrade. Like they see him as like the same.
Him as well. He was supposed to come back with Charlotte. That didn't happen, and then nothing with him either.
They're like, yo, this guy's a good wrestler, but he's like not white, so fuck it. He's not black, so we can't
push the narrative that way.
We can't virtue
enough
signal
of a race to get us a pat on the back.
They're like, oh, we need to get the Latino thing in there, so there's the Latino thing for you. But
that's why they're having the whole Puerto Rican Latino angle all lumped in as one. They're trying to do it everybody together, and I hope it works. I mean, I'd like to see Damian Priest get the rub off of this.
There's no work. This is just
as a star, but
nothing works with this.
I don't think it will. Edge was just very scripted here. The way he spoke, it was just a breakdown of. They had him because they can trust him, so they know he's good at delivering on the mic. So if they give him this long speech, they know he's not going to mess it up or make it sound stupid. So he's a good guy to relay a lot of information. So he was perfect to relay all of the stuff about how the chamber works, what happened the last few episodes of Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. He broke down all the participants, Drew McIntyre's chances at the Elimination Chamber. But that should have been done at like the Chamber pre-show, or that should have been done on a YouTube thing. Here, Edge, all he had to do was the last like 30, 45 seconds of his promo was perfect. When he got really angry and invested and he's like, I'll tell you when I make my decision. But then he got, I'm going to leave at WrestleMania as champion, and there would be no contract for you to sign in for, and everything he went in. There's a difference between you and I, and how he went and attacked The Miz. That was great, but it was only the last minute or so that was worthwhile. Then we had Damian Priest beat Angel Garza in less than 4 minutes, and it's like, all right, that's how you have Damian Priest again, kind of get a quick win. Fine, but it would have been nice to showcase something a bit more lengthy with him. Then we had Keith Lee and Riddle. That felt like a waste. It was less than 8 minutes, and it just, Keith Lee's not in a great place, and Riddle has been beaten constantly. He said he's going for the U.S. title. He's lost twice against Lashley. Even if it's DQ win or not, I'm not counting that. He still lost. That he looks like shit. Keith Lee doesn't look great. This wasn't a great match. It could have been, but they didn't give him enough time. They interrupt it with a commercial, and then they go ahead and you get the sleeper hold. Oh, wow, waste time with the sleeper. The flying knee looked really good. The floating bro looked good. He tries to go for the suplex at one point. Can't quite get it. And I'm like, all right, but then we get the spirit bomb, and it's over. Okay. Yeah. And then Lashley comes up and looks like a badass. So thankfully, Lashley still looks good. You got MVP standing there clapping like he's directing traffic. That's a good look for the Hurt Business, but the tag champs don't even get showcased at all. They're not there.
Yeah, the tag belts are literally dead. I mean, there's no
non-existent women's titles as well.
And thank God they are,
everything
because
with Nia and Lana that we already covered.
This whole company is retarded. This show is not even close to good. Even this isn't even.
But we said too. So Nia loses the tables match here. She gets put through the table after beating the shit out of Lana for almost 4 minutes straight. The last 15 seconds is when we see Lana go ahead and basically trick her into being in position to get put through a table. So that's her big victory. That's her big win. Then Naomi misses the kick by a mile that she's supposed to hit Baszler win. We come back from commercial, and everybody's talking, about Raw talk instead of the fact that, now it's a match in the ring between Naomi and Shayna Baszler. And then Naomi beats Shayna Baszler. So obviously we're getting these two, Nia Jax and Shayna, the women's tag champs, taking on Lana and Naomi. So they can't be together, and they both lose in non-title matches. What's the point of that? Weren't they supposed to be this big, strong, undefeatable monster heel tag team? They both lost, and they both look like shit. And then we had no build-up to this, no further announcements, really. Like I said, they announced it on Instagram yesterday. That was it. So it wasn't even something they had a week to build up. They give Randy Orton another, title match, but then it's a non-title match now. Okay, so why are they even fighting? Why have them fight if it's not for the title? What's the point? Why are they facing off? What are you said it was supposed to be a title match, then you change it to non-title, and then why are they facing off anyways? You've had them kill each other in this feud. It's ad nauseum. We've seen them face off. It's constantly the same thing. Sheamus, as we said earlier, makes no sense with him being out there and being heel, and they fucked it all up. This whole show dragged on and on and on, and it never got to anything exciting. And at least last week we had one or two pretty good matches. We had some moments that were decent with the wrestling. This week, AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy, I didn't think was a great match, and Hardy looks like shit yet again, so that was nothing to be excited about. The New Day match, fuck me, that was boring as all hell, because no one believes in Retribution. Then we had Charlotte and Lacey. You knew that wasn't going to end legitimately because they have to keep the story going. It was decent until they screw the ending up. And then we get the women's matches, as we said. They give a quick win for Damian Priest, and then we get our main event, which again ends with a total disqualification.
Right.
It's pointless. I've said it before. I tweeted it out. I'll say it again. They don't realize that a non-finish or disqualification, it doesn't make us want to see that match happen again. It doesn't immediately emblazon us with the need to see that repeated. Why do we feel compelled to watch this happen again? We didn't want to see Austin and Rock face each other again because they faced each other the first time. No, we didn't need the rematch. They made the rematch interesting. They made you want to see it. They went through the Rumble. They had this whole story. It was a build that made us want to see them fight again. And guess what? It was so good that they built it up for a third time, and it still worked. And we had seen them fight twice. And The Rock lost both times. And there was still an element of interest there. There was still intrigue. We can't get that nowadays. They can't give us anything worthwhile. I don't know why it's that difficult for them to go ahead and write a compelling story. They say that they tout it all the time. We listen to fans. When? How?
Yeah, I don't know. They listen. They just don't do anything. So they're not lying. They listen. They just don't
take anything into consideration.
Yeah, they just go, we're listening to you. Oh, okay, that's interesting you say that. Let's not do that, though.
It feels like a total waste. And people say, oh, then don't watch. It's the same thing. No, because it can be better. It is. There are things about it that are good. They have a very talented roster. They have talented people here. They could be doing good things. It's just
I don't think so.
Advisement.
I don't even believe that anymore.
Because every now and again we still get a good match. We get a good story. We get like the stuff with Roman has been really good. And it's such a shame that we got all these years of a shitty version of Roman Reigns, because that really takes away from this version of him. He's so stellar now. He's never had like a massive move set or repertoire, for him to really battle through. But he was so limited as a face for his move set because they want all faces to have pop moves that pop the crowd. You got Cena's 5-knuckle shuffle, you've got Roman's spear, things like that. So they always, if you look at all the faces that the real pushed faces, they really have a very limited move set. And it wasn't until they were no longer at the top of the company, and at least in that WWE pushed mindset, that they started to get better and wrestle a more advanced style. We saw the best matches of Cena when he was no longer the WWE champion, but the US champion. And when Roman was no longer the face and the head of the company, now we see him, he gets pushed back up to the title picture, granted, but I feel like he's more deserving and earned it with this heel run.
Let me tell you something.
They do it with all their faces.
The WWE's ratings are now like 1.7 million. This Raw review that me and you have been doing for a straight 3 years. 3 years. Up until last year in March. This Raw review always had over 1,000 viewers. Over 1,000 viewers for
Usually
3 years straight. We didn't drop off. The wrestling fans literally stopped watching. Like, they literally stopped watching. They are done.
I know COVID has a great deal to do with that as well. The pandemic and things changing, not having an audience, it makes it a different style of wrestling. It's a whole different product not having fans. I get that. But
it was
they
bad.
were dropping off long before the pandemic ever was even a threat.
Yeah, because you can go back and watch our Raw reviews.
Year over year, 25% each year did they lose in the ratings. Every single year. Each Rumble, they were down by 25% from the year before. We've talked about this. They were losing ratings each year. When they used to get a 5, then a 4, then a 3, then a 2. Now they're getting a 1.7, 1.8. They have to bring back everybody they can to get anything close to a 2.
All you have to do is watch a Raw review from January and watch an episode of Raw from January or last year, 2019, and watch our review. And then you can see that it was still just about as bad. This just added an even more awful thing to it to have no fans. It was already bad.
Pissing at bodybuilder. You had Lay the Tarps song for Triple H for a reason.
Yeah, time to lay the tarps.
The lack of, missing seats.
And speaking of that, I want to shout out E-Murder, man. He's the top dog right now, and he's a sexy beast. And he deserves to be... Oh my God, she's taking it off.
Oh shit.
Oh no. Luis Antonio Alejandro.
What if they killed us and ate our children? What if the turkeys ate us? What if they filleted us? If the turkeys ate us, if they had to hate us. Thanksgiving was a little bit different. Instead, the turkeys ate us. They gobbled us apart. But first they'd eat our nuts, and then they'd eat our butts. The turkeys ate us. What if the turkeys ate us? What if the turkeys ate us? What if they ate our fucking nuts? What if the turkeys ate us instead of mashed potatoes? Instead the turkeys ate us.
Raw gets a negative 10 out of 10. I'd rather watch Seventh Heaven on Hulu or any TV show or movie that Debbie Ryan is in and give that a 10 out of 10. New Day is officially trash.
Oh my God.
Retribution is trash. Screw Vince McMahon.
Oh man. Luis Antonio Alejandro.
Luis.
From above, man. Thank you for all the turkeys. Hector Gutierrez in the chat. Thank you, Antonio Alejandro. $29, man. Thank you so much, bro. Especially on a quiet night like this, where I'll be honest, man. There's some nights where I flip out, but this is one of those. I'm in a coma.
How could you not be though? Like I'm pissed off, but I'm more upset than insulted at this point in time. Like I feel so given up on as a fan. And then you hear discouraging news that people don't want to hire Zelina Vega, allegedly. Fightful Select is saying that they haven't heard of any companies expressing interest in signing her. Doesn't mean she'll remain unsigned, but no one's made any move on her yet because her non-compete clause is over as of right now.
Why would I would want to hire her literally for her to be a manager because she's so fucking epic.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of roles that she'd be great for, you know. And Thea Trinidad is still on Twitch; she's got a great presence there. So AEW would be silly not to hire her. I think as a woman's talent, she was a pretty decent wrestler, and you don't need to have her wrestle, but you can have her as a great manager, and really, you know that she could be effective in the ring. Think about what she did in NXT, instead of what she did in the main.
I wouldn't
roster.
hire any of these fucks.
In NXT.
Wouldn't hire a fucking person. These people all suck.
But I guess a lot of people.
Why does everybody have to get hired? They all suck. I mean, dude, I've seen them.
They don't have to get hired. I'm usually the one not jumping on the hire everyone.
You know who I'd hire?
I think she has something to offer.
I'll hire the next star. And there is
Brock Lesnar that Heyman found.
There is no star though, so I wouldn't hire any of these people.
I mean, Edge said earlier that he wants to quit wrestling before he ever becomes a burden on his opponents. You know, he says that he wants to brush up, guys like Damian Priest and Finn Balor, but he doesn't ever want to get to the point where he has to work with someone and it becomes a burden. So he wants to really make an impact here, and then, he never wants it to be where, someone's upset that they have to face Edge. And I can appreciate that.
Yeah, John Cena.
Sasha Banks is going to be on the
I don't believe him.
Sessions.
Yes, that'll be about as good as Bailey being on there, probably. It was terrible.
Bailey was okay.
Bailey is. Well,
Big
Sasha's
E's also
gonna
in the pipeline as well.
Sasha's gonna finger herself because she wants to fuck the hell out of Austin.
No kidding.
Sasha's a little fucking mark for Austin.
That she is. You got her flipping the bird with Austin for their promo picture. So already she's fingering near Austin.
I'm living rent free.
Inside your head, if I was a nightmare, you fucking wouldn't have dared. Was a like swords straight into your head. The fatter that they are, the more that they bleed red. You better fake dead before you say something dumb. And I ain't playing around. And you
I'm living rent free, motherfuckers. What up?
Taking the people to manipulate friends like a bully at school. For you, recess never ends. Spend your whole life desperate for love. You'll build any narrative to be completely beloved. For what you have, you thank God, but you ain't godly at all. You stab a friend in the back if it puts you up on the top. Cause I'm living rent free inside your head. If I was a nightmare, you wouldn't have dared. Was I like swords straight into your head.
Roman's promo was good last Friday.
Roman's promo was good last Friday, says Evan Rivera. Yeah, Roman's had pretty
good. We said Tony Romo too many times yesterday, I think.
Yeah, man. Roman's promos have been pretty good. I mean, Roman's been one of the best things about the whole company.
Roman and Edge on SmackDown, I thought was stellar. Roman basically like getting heated under his breath, but like, you will respect me, to Edge. You will choose me as your opponent, basically, because if you don't choose me, that means that I'm not worthy, and that means you don't respect me. And if you don't respect me, you don't respect my family. And it just got better and better. It's like, damn, why couldn't you have been this way for years?
Right.
He should have came out of the Shield and immediately gone into this character, because it made no sense what they did with him. They took him and he was white hot. Seth turned heel, and then you had, Dean basically trying to hunt down Seth for betraying them. But Roman didn't do anything. He went for the title. So he didn't go after Seth, really. He didn't help Dean, really. So the Shield basically was like nothing to him. He treated it like a stepping stone. And then they had him do all those cheesy, stupid catch, suffering, succotash, tater tots lines. And then the Rumble shit happened. And from there, they ruined Roman. But suffer and succotash, we know what happened. But they made him forget about his Shield brotherhood. And like he had no motivation. He just immediately go for the title. That was it. Shoot for the top. And they ruined him. Had he not even gone heel, but just been that quiet asshole that thought highly of himself, still could have been a pseudo face, but in that role, and then slowly developed heel and went up against Rollins in his own sense, because Rollins could still be heel and them not like each other. Heels don't have to get along because they're both bad guys. Could have been a really good feud. You betrayed me, but I don't like you anyways. And
yeah,
there could have been a lot of great stories there. Instead, they made Roman try and be the new Cena, and it failed.
Everybody, questions are up right now on the Patreon. Right now for me and Jake. Is it movie news? Is it gossip news? Is it sci-fi news? Is it aliens news? Is it UFO news? Is it conspiracy shit? Is it your personal life? Is it a topic? Whatever it is, drop it for us on Patreon right now. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. And me and Jake are probably going to record tomorrow, if not the next day, but probably tomorrow. So hit us up, because I'm going to read all the questions and we're going to do them. And that's about it, man. I give Raw tonight a 2 out of 10. Jake, what's up with you on Raw tonight? Anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10 as well. That
Raw
sounds pretty much spot on.
All right.
And then, as we said, we'll see what they're going to do for Mania. The only thing we know for sure right now is that it seems almost confirmed is the Bad Bunny tag team match that's going to happen. Isn't that sad? That's the only thing we desperately know for sure at this point in time. So we'll see what comes to Mania. But
I'm not even hating on the guy. I don't even care. Like, it's not even that big. I see people hating on the guy.
It's not against
like
him. No, it's not a slight on Bad Bunny. That's the thing. It's
because everything sucks.
Involvement.
Yeah,
I know he's a wrestling fan, but why is he here? Everybody, we're all fans.
Because
that's why
they
we're watching.
suck. They don't have anything. Their wrestlers suck.
What's the at least
the reason is their wrestlers suck.
When they had
Nobody's
the Green
good.
Arrow come in and face Neville, like at least the story somewhat made sense that they were trying to tell there. There was disrespect beforehand or against Cody Rhodes, excuse me, and he worked with Neville, and Cody was on the show, and they said that it stemmed from that, and it led to a whole thing. All right, that was cool, that worked, but there's a lot of times where these celebrity things just fall flat.
I'm glad they got Bad Bunny. They fucking maybe
he's
they'll
popular. Hopefully, he gets more fans. Yeah,
maybe
his shirt was the
people.
best-selling thing on the store of all time. Somebody said
probably good.
I mean, that was insane to hear that WWE's shop.
I don't think it's all time.
Store,
that's got to be. You're telling me more than Stone Cold and everything.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, just for the shop sales, but it's still insane.
Well, what do you mean just for the shop sales?
For him to if it was. Only
I know that he's the top selling thing right now. But you're telling me he's outsold Roman and Stone Cold and Cena?
I got to look into it. Like I said, that was just what somebody had said on Twitter. But
somebody's a retard.
Even if he is the top selling right now, it's still
he is the top selling right now. No, he is the top selling right now. I saw that from WWE. He's the top selling guy. Bad Bunny, but he's not of. I don't think of all time or ever, like whatever. But right now, he's the most selling merchandise on the site.
For 2021. So that's what it is. Rapper Bad Bunny now top most WWE merchandise seller. And that's how the headline goes.
Because they don't have
when you
stars.
read into it, it says for 2021.
Because they don't have stars.
Okay, so someone just didn't read the whole headline. But that makes sense.
Well, I mean, I read it the other day. Someone's a retard.
Seller. It's only a month in.
Whoever this person is, block them on Twitter. I mean, because... Yeah. Oh, boy.
What if the turkeys hate
Luis
us?
Again, Antonio Alejandro.
What if they
I thought I saw Michael Jordan.
I
thought I saw Michael Jordan 23, but it is 29. There you go. Coca-Cola, they use slave labor to make stuff. Then they complain about slaves. What a joke.
Thanksgiving was a little bit different.
Coca-Cola lobbies for slave labor in China, but here they talk about slavery. Haha, they're hypocrites. Fuck America.
Eat our nuts, and then they eat our butts. The turkeys ate us.
What if Tiffany ate my nuts? What if Steve Kalani ate my nuts? What if Hector Gutierrez sucks? Yeah. What if the turkeys ate us instead of mashed potatoes? Instead the turkeys ate us. Come on, come on, come on.
Screw Raw.
Yeah, screw Raw, Luis, Antonio, Alejandro. Good night, Jake. Good night, everybody. We love you. Kisses. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Good night, Jake. I didn't even let Jake tell you guys to stay sexy. Didn't even let him tell you to stay sexy. We gone, brother. We done. We done had enough. Chase that shit. Yeah, sick of this shit. Sick of this shit. Sick of this shit. Sick of this shit, sick of this shit. So I'm slitting my wrist and I'm really getting pissed, cause the Raw sucks dick. Fuck this show, it's a hoe. I'm gonna treat it like that, no pay, no dough. Fuck this up, yo fuck your son. Yo fuck this up, I'ma fucking cut my wrist again if you make me mad, cause I'm mad at this show. Fuck my dad, fuck my mom, fuck Vince, fuck Steph, fuck Shane, fuck anybody's left. Fuck this whole company, they're boring as fuck, and I wanna fucking rape my mother. Or rape some other person with my dick. Here comes my cum, it's about to go thick inside of your mom's tits. Milky white, down in breasts, all over like all the rest. I don't know what I'm doing. Goodbye, everybody. Here's some more of Living Rent Free. You're living rent free. Good night, everybody.
'Cause I'm living rent free.
Good night.
Inside your head, if I was a nightmare, you fucking would end up dead. Was I like sauce straight into your head? The fatter that they are, the more that they bleed red. You better fake dead before you say something dumb, and I ain't playing around. And
Luis Antonio Alejandro. Good night, everybody. The ratings are dead.
Taking the people to manipulate friends like a bully at school. For you, recess never ends. Spend your whole life desperate for love. You'll build any narrative to be completely beloved. For what you have, you thank God, but you ain't godly at all. You stab a friend in the back if it puts you up on the top. Cause I'm living rent free inside your head. If I was a nightmare, you fucking would end up dead. Was it like swords straight into your head? The fatter that they are, the more that you bleed red. Cause I'm living rent free. Oh, you know I'm living rent free. I'm always fucking living rent free. Living rent free. Oh, you think of me?
It's time to lay the tarps.
It's time to lay the tarps. It's time to lay the tarps.
It's all about the tarps. And all you ladies.
It's all about the hard can and wicked places. It's all about your scene if you can't stand it. It's all about the plans and who's gonna fake it. I am the tarps, you don't wanna lay me. Damage control, no way you can see me. Fans on paying, I know there ain't
Banter!